Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. I'm just gonna keep today brief. There was just one beautiful piece of healing wisdom I wanted to share. Um, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jamie Wozni. I'm a light activation guide and mentor. So I serve other light workers, healers, sensitive souls who are ready to heal, who are ready to be seen, who are ready to be heard in the world and feel safe shining their magnificent light and feel a sense of being in their authentic truth. So if you identify with being a light of the world, I'm glad you made your way here. So today I'm going to share, there's so much I've been learning over this last year about regulating the nervous system, which is such an important part of being able to shine your light in the world. How in the world are we supposed to share our gifts if we're walking around in fight or flight? It skews our mind, it skews time, it skews our level of safety, what's dangerous for us, who we can help, how big we can be in the world. So this is such an important part of our healing and liberating our light in the world. And I'm sure, because this is something I'm starting to learn a lot about, be sharing more in the next few weeks to come. But just for today, I wanted to give you one bite-sized bit of information. So when we experience trauma when we're younger, innocently, what one definition of trauma is too, because it can be different for everybody, right? Too much stimulation coming in all at once for our little bodies to handle. Too much energy, too much emotion, too much sensory data, whatever it might be. And we're just like, whoa. So the brain goes into a dysregulated state to try to help us. It's amazing. So it either shuts us down, speeds us up, or a combination of the two. It makes us freeze. So we're kind of in a state of both at the same time. So a solution past that, again, many ways to heal the nervous system, but one way is to let these energies that were stuck from whatever point in time, because it was too much, like they're still there. They're still in a trauma loop neurologically, energetically, in the body. We're like, we had this experience. It was too much to handle, right? And so as an adult, we say, okay, you're not exactly these words every time, but there's an adult in the room, and I can begin to allow these energies through my body in very small digestible ways. So that's the wisdom I'm sharing today, is that one way to actually regulate the nervous system is that when sensation, when feelings, when whatever it is that's coming up within us comes up within us, we shut down because it can feel too intense, and we don't want it all to come at once. We don't need it all to come at once. And when we can realize it's actually better for the body and cues the nervous system in of like, oh, she's okay, bringing her awareness to these sensations, to these, maybe we could call it feelings. Let's just call it all energies, whatever sensations, energies are rising within us. We don't need to guard her or protect her anymore. So instead of the entire Thanksgiving dinner coming at me and going, you got to eat this all at once. And I'm like, we're like, oh, over the next week, we have all these beautiful foods, and you can take a little bite here and a little bite there, and it'll still be at the table. We'll put it in the fridge, keep it good. We'll take it out the next night. Little sip here, a little bite there. And so this is how we can actually, over time, regulate the nervous system. Welcome in comfortable small bits of information so that it can safely process through the body. Now, you hear me talk a lot about healing and expansion. This is on both sides. There's a healer, Carolyn Elliott, and she calls it expanding your havingness level. So on the one side, we welcome the digestible bits of uncomfortable old stimuli, energy, felt sensations to move through the body over time. And then at the same time, we also, once we're done that practice or later in the day when we feel more settled and calm and regulated, we start to welcome in feelings our body might not be used to. When we don't get what we need innocently as a child, we believe it's our fault to give us some sense of control. And then we begin to not feel worthy and deserving of receiving the thing. So we slowly begin to retrain our nervous system to welcome in tiny, digestible, tolerable, 1 second at a time feelings of joy or lightness or okayness or comfort. Okay? There's many ways that we can do this. I'll share one way with you now. As a practice, you can, put your hands on your body, close your eyes, and just tune in and notice, where is there something uncomfortable in my body? Where is there a sensation of discomfort? And because of trauma, we might not be used to being in our body. So this might be a practice at first. Coming down into the body. I have a grounding meditation on here, just practicing coming into the body. Breathing. And then saying things like, what sensation am I feeling? So deeper than the thoughts, deeper than the emotions, what sensation is underneath of that thought or emotion? What actual sensation? Tight, constricted, suffocated, hot, cold, light, expansive, hollow, open, closed, blocked, flowing. And all we have to do with our non-judgmental presence is breathe it. So I'll say it out loud, blocked, shaky. See, my body just sighed. So our awareness, we have such an intelligent body, as I've been talking about on here, that our awareness of the sensation that was stuck in goodness knows what time can start to allow it to move. We check out, right? We dissociate from it. We don't want to feel it. We don't want it to be true. It's too much sensation for the body. So it's a beautiful inbuilt protective system that's just like, stick it here. But if we want our nervous system to start to digest and come back to balance, then we can just a little bit of time every day, just take a little bite of the Thanksgiving meal. It doesn't feel like you're going to be doing a lot at first, but just be patient with yourself and know over time, could I lean into the warmth in my chest? Could I lean into the frozen feeling in the bottom half of my body? Hey, frozen feeling. Hey, tension, whatever it might be. So deeper than, we do this with emotions as well. But today, this is a different way I'm teaching to re-regulate the nervous system beyond and deeper than emotions. There's a ton of work out there by an author who I really like, Peter Levine. He's really well known for Waking the Tiger. Somatic experiencing, this is called. This is one aspect of an entire world of it. But that just lets our body, we don't need to do it a lot, slowly and safely. What sensation am I feeling? Can I just allow a little bit of that in? And notice, sometimes when I do it, my body will sigh. So your nervous system is releasing when you sigh, yawn, sway, swallow. Maybe a tear will come down. Deep breath. You could feel shaking. You could feel, which is a good thing, you could feel hot or cold, like energy movement, right? The digestive system starts to digest. So my stomach will always be like, amazing, your nervous system's releasing. So you can just notice, wow, I know it seemed like I only just let a little bit of that sensation in, but look, my body's releasing it. And I might not feel the direct results yet because I've suppressed all this stuff. Well, again, we don't want it to all come at once. We're just doing a little bit at a time. And over time, we just notice, okay? And then at the same time, so after you're done that practice, when you feel more regulated, could I allow myself to welcome tolerable amounts of something that feels good to me? Could I tune into the joy of my dog? You know, the sun today, my favorite flower, what your vision is, what your sacred vision is for your life, right? The house I want, or because sometimes it might be too extreme, and we haven't talked about this yet, to just let it all in and visualize it. It's like, oh my God, again, little kid me didn't think she was worthy of that. So what if I let in a time I got something I wanted, right? Ooh, that's a tolerable feeling. Okay, yeah, I was in high school and I got this really cool role in the marching band. And so could I let in a tolerable amount of that energy? So this is literally retraining the nervous system, letting the nervous system realize, hey, it's safe. There's good feelings in here too. I don't have to just stay in loops and spin on the other things. So again, many ways we can work on healing the nervous system. I'm going to come back and share those. But for now, take this practice in. So many of my private clients say, do I have to feel the stuff I don't want to feel? Do I have to feel the discomfort? And there was a line in this book that I read recently. Thank you. That was Buddha. I think Buddha said that suffering is a part of life. Suffering is given for everyone. So if we're going to sit there and say, and I had a coach say that to me years ago, she's like, what do you think, you're immune from suffering? Now that doesn't mean let's go and then just suffer. There's clearly things that we can do to come back into equilibrium. But to pretend and just be all positive and not have these feelings isn't human. And so it kind of goes, oh, okay, this is part of humanity, to experience some icky things, to have some discomfort. Well, then my body must be built for allowing this to move through me. And God bless our caretakers. When we're raised, we're not in a society of high level of emotional intelligence yet that knows to fully accept a child's experience. Our caretakers sometimes are so uncomfortable with the intensity of experience, or they don't understand nervous system healing, or they don't understand emotions or feminine energy or whatever it is. So they go, you're okay, or don't be angry, or you don't need to be sad. That's not a big deal. And then we're, okay. So if we had that space of, it's okay, it'll pass, you're all right, this stuff wouldn't be stuck in us. But again, that's not what most grow up in. But we can be a space for that, for ourselves, going, okay, suffering's part of this. There are going to be some uncomfortable feelings in life. It's part of the whole. We have uncomfortable and comfortable feelings. And I can handle 1 second of intense heat. I can handle 1% of a feeling of contraction in my body. And so if we go deeper to the sensation as opposed to the emotion, it bypasses the brain that's trying to keep us safe. Again, we want to thank the brain for keeping us safe, always, always. And then we start to help the energy dissolve and dissipate and move. And then we get our life back, right? And so just to give you a practical sense of this, because you're going to be allowing, releasing, and then allowing in new a little bit at a time. Some days I won't feel a change. Some days I'm like, I'm on faith. I have a knowing in my heart, this is helping. Some days I get my life back. I'm like, oh my God, this is me. Like, this just feels like me. I feel like home. There's a lightness, there's a peace. And we're not used to feeling that, right? Sadly, because we're all kind of walking around dysregulated and not realizing it. And so those are the moments that you say, that is what is real and true. And we're not just going again for like, I'm going to float around as a fairy cloud for the rest of my life. And if I feel icky, again, our human experience is everything. But I've always had this knowing, even if it wasn't my experience, that we are all meant to walk around regulated and at peace the majority of the time. Even if we experience trauma or difficult things, yes, we move through those emotions. Yes, we move through that experience, but we're always meant to come back home. And me included, I think for a while, it's just like, well, fuck, is there a home? Because it's super normal that most of us are anxious or depressed or things are hard or we got to sacrifice. It's like, whoa. But yes, there is a home. There's an internal home. We're all worthy and deserving of being there. We might not know it or recognize it because it wasn't what we were raised with. But give yourself all the time in the world. You're the parent now. You're here to serve, and let that little bit move through as you would with a little child, right? Let's just let that little bit through. Feels too much, we can come back. Let's let a little bit through from a new life that we want to create, new feelings that we want to let in. And we toggle and wiggle, we wiggle through. And if we want to bring this to quantum physics, we release these energies and then we become a match for different energies. And we can unconditionally feel the feelings again before they can happen in a comfortable, tolerable way. And then we bring in situations with this new little bit good feeling, and our brain goes, oh, that's safe, that's okay. And then we start gaining proof of our new reality, which gives us confidence, which tells us, I don't need that old way anymore. And then our nervous system has the space it needs. Our body's so intelligent. We just sometimes need to create the space for it to do its job. So then the body can start to come back into balance. And it can be foreign and unfamiliar at first. I know that feeling. You're just like, oh my God. And it can be sad because we're like, wow, I've spent a lot of years of my life not in this. A lot of us don't want to heal. We don't want to heal because of the grief we experience of like, oh my God, I could have had this all along. And this is what my life's supposed to be like. And it was like this. But it's better to have the rest of your life home, right? Than it is to just stay somewhere because you don't want to feel the sadness. And again, we can let the sadness move through in digestible bits. And we're all on our journeys. Our souls are all awakening. We're learning what we're learning for a reason, right? So I hope you enjoyed today's talk. I will be here again next Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific. Any comments or questions, as always, please let me know. They're always welcome here. And if this resonated with you, I invite you, I'm going to put it in the notes, to check out my course, Liberate Your Sacred Light. It's an 8-week course where I help light workers just like you, if you resonate with what I said in the beginning or resonate with what I've shared here, to start to heal, to start to access your bravery, to start to access your gifts. It's filled with tools, meditations, and teachings to let you start to feel safer regulating your nervous system so that you can shine your light out in the world. So that's at jamiewosny.com/services. And the one I'm recommending to you right now is Liberate Your Sacred Light. But there's lots of goodies on there if you want to get in touch with me for one-on-one work or any other courses that I do. See what calls to your heart. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Have a beautiful day and take it easy on yourselves.